Hi guys, we have a 2012 Golf GTI and the check engine is not on, but this vehicle has poor performance and there is a code. When you scan the ECU, the code is P0237 and it's connected to the sensor called air pressure sensor G31, and where this sensor is, it's right on the pipe going to the intake, and it's right down here. This is the sensor right there, and I pulled the connector because the first way to test this sensor is you test terminal 1, 2, and 3, and in this case you start from the flat space, the flat ending of the connector, 1, 2, 3, and 4, ending with the round one. And in order to make sure that those are the connectors or the way they have the digits placed or designated, you can actually use a mirror, and you can get the mirror you can get a mirror and a flashlight, and if you actually zoom in, okay, you can see the numbers 1, 2, and 3, and basically 1 is the first connector to the flat surface. This is how you get to the proper numbers if you're confused and you don't know which one it is. And the troubleshooting for this code tells me to check number 1 through number 3 for voltage from the ECU when the troubleshooting is to turn the key on so you have a signal. You go to position 2 and then check with a voltmeter the connectors 1, 2, and 3 for voltage. In this connector, actually, I do not see a connector inside number 2, so testing 1 and 3 would be the proper way. And I have number 1, and we can see use the ground solid good connection, and we have no signal going through from the ECU to this sensor. The next step would be testing connector number 3 for voltage, and the next step, like I said, is connector 3 to check for voltage from the ECU, and then we check with a ground connection and boom, we have 5 volts on number 3. This is what we're supposed to have on number 1. Most people will probably try to just replace this sensor right away, but with Volkswagen, especially this vehicle having over 130,000 miles, we've seen a bunch of cases with the ECUs getting burned, and this is why you have to do the troubleshooting, because this is a direct line. So number 3 we have voltage, number 1 we have no voltage. That line comes directly from the ECU, and most likely this is pointing to a ECU problem, and we have seen this with these vehicles around that mileage, Passats, Jettas, Golfs. So in this case, the only other troubleshooting that I have, which most likely I will bet that there won't be a problem, is to check the solid connection and ohms in connection, or the actual wiring connection between the ECU and the sensor. You can do that. So the ECU is between terminal 1 in the ECU and actually connection T6013. Most likely this is actually, so I think there's 2 plugs, and you have the connection is 13, and then on number 3, which we had the voltage, is connection or terminal 27 in the ECU, and the T60, I have a schematic on this. So T60 is actually the 60 pin connector, because the other one is called T94. So the C connection, what we're looking for is this one here, and that's the small one, and that's, we need on the small connector, we need, so between terminal 1 on the connector to the sensor and number 13 to check for continuity, and it should be around this 0.5, and then you have on terminal 3 of the sensor and checking continuity with terminal 27. And again, if those are fine, the wiring is fine, then you actually have to replace the ECU. Unfortunately, that may not be the answer a lot of people are expecting, but this is what we find out with these vehicles. So again, I hope this helps you guys to figure out this problem, and thanks for watching, and please subscribe.